Hello everyone and welcome back to Animation Pilgrimage, where we take a look at every single theatrically released animated film in chronological order. I'm Sean.
I'm Tennille. I feel like that should go like on one of those typography graphic.
Oh, and it just like shows up at the beginning of every episode or something?
Yeah.
We just make a sticker. That's just the tagline.
Welcome back to Animation Pilgrimage.
Where we use a lot of words to say not much.
Just to try and explain what this project is.
Mm-hmm. Because it has many stipulations.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, today we are in 1972 and we are talking about the sequel to The Wizard of Oz, Return to Oz.
Journey Back to Oz.
Journey Back to Oz.
Return to Oz is something else.
Okay, Journey Back to Oz.
Uh-huh.
This is the official...
Unofficial.
Unofficial?
Unofficial.
Unofficial?
Unofficial.
Da-dun! I thought it was the official sequel.
Maybe at one point it was.
And then they're like, no. I bet they marketed it as the official sequel.
Probably. Especially considering they brought back Margaret Hamilton, who plays the Wicked Witch of the West in the original movie. She's in this movie, and she plays Auntie M.
Okay.
And they also got rising actress and daughter of Judy Garland, who is the original Dorothy.
Okay.
Lisa Minnelli to play Dorothy.
Okay.
So yeah, yeah.
Neat.
Yeah.
Plot?
Plot.
All right. So, if you're not aware of The Wizard of Oz, I'm sorry.
This takes place after amount of time after The Wizard of Oz.
Exactly amount of time.
Yeah.
Dorothy is in Kansas again, and she's like, I want to go visit Oz again, because it was the only interesting thing to ever happen to me, because I live in freaking Kansas, and nothing happens here.
Dorothy has gotten an Alice makeover. She looks a lot like Disney's Alice. And her personality reminds me more of Alice than Dorothy.
I'll take your word for it, because again, I've only seen The Wizard of Oz once.
It's a very subtle difference, but
It definitely feels like it's there.
Yeah, like, just the fact that Dorothy is wanting to go back to Oz rather than just being this stupid white-eyed girl who barely understands what's happening in front of her.
What happened?
Yeah.
Alright, so, she does it. She goes back.
Because a tornado comes through Kansas.
Through power of tornado again.
Uh-huh.
Cool. So, then the rest of the movie pretty much follows a pretty strict formula. Mm-hmm. We meet a character.
They sing a
song. And then we meet a new character, and they sing a song.
Well, no. We meet a character, they sing a song, we say goodbye to that character.
Sometimes.
Usually we say goodbye to that character.
And then we just do this rinse and repeat over and over again. There are some exceptions, but generally how it goes is she arrives. She wants to go to the Emerald City to meet the king, who is...
To see the Scarecrow.
Is apparently the Scarecrow. I don't remember that happening at the end of the first movie.
No, but I mean, like, the wizard left with Dorothy.
She just somehow knows he's the king now. And or it's her fantasy land, so sure.
Yeah.
He's the king. Either way, she goes. She meets a signpost who sings a song about how he's bad at directions. Mm-hmm. And then we leave and never see him again. Mm-hmm. Then we run into Pumpkinhead, who is an animated pumpkin man, created by the evil witch... Mombi.
I don't know why directions aren't good for witch names anymore, but alright.
Yeah. So he's like, I don't like being an evil henchman, so I'm running away. And
he mostly doesn't like it not because of
He doesn't like feeding spiders and snakes.
And dusting off frogs.
Yeah, that's
He's more grossed out by the work he has to do rather than having any moral
qualms with like what she's doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we run into Mombi because Dorothy just runs into her house like a dumbass. And then we meet Mombi and she expositions all over the place. It's a mess. Just exposition dumping here and there and everywhere.
We also meet Mombi's crow, who is voiced by Mel Blanc.
Okay. She's gonna use green elephants to take over the everything. Mm-hmm. Okay. She's cooking them. Anyways, we escape, and then Alice and Pumpkinhead run into a pink horse who used to work on a merry-go-round, and this guy's name is Woodenhead. Man, these are some great names.
We've got Pumpkinhead and Woodenhead.
These are the two companion characters to Dorothy this time around. So, top-notch writing here.
Yeah.
He sings a song about how he didn't like working on a merry-go-round. He wants a layabout job where he gets whatever he wants and is lazy.
He wants to be recognized for being awesome, but also not do any work.
Yep.
Yeah. This is essentially... Well, and then he finds out that Dorothy knows the Scarecrow, who's the king of the Emerald City.
And he's like, cool. Hook me up.
Yeah, sign me up.
So they
Put in a good word for me.
So then they just go to the Emerald City. They get there in like no seconds flat. They meet the Scarecrow, who sings a song about how brains are overrated and he doesn't like having a brain anymore, which is counterintuitive to the first movie, but okay.
Alright.
And then they're like, oh hey, by the way, Mombi's gonna attack with elephants right about now. And so then there's a chase sequence and the Scarecrow and Toto get taken out of the movie. Cool. No dog. That sounds good to me.
The dog was cute.
I mean,
the dog didn't sing any songs.
It's true. So the main characters are like, well, this sucks. We need to go to Tin Land and talk to the Tin Man and get him to help us. Mm-hmm. And then they meet the Tin Man and he sings a song about how he's cool and stuff, but he's not going to help because he doesn't deal with magic.
Yeah.
All right. So then they go see the lion. Rinse and repeat. He doesn't fight magic elephants.
Yeah.
We meet him. He sings a song. We move on. Glinda shows up, the good witch.
By the way, none of these songs are as good as the songs in the original movie.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that later. Glinda shows up, doesn't sing a song, I don't think. I don't remember.
Which is shocking because they got a professional, well-known opera singer to
play Glinda?
To play Glinda.
Okay. If she sings a song, I honestly don't remember. I was kind of like phasing in and out at this point. Mm-hmm. By God. She hands a special box to the people and they go back and attack and like, don't use this except in dire need. And then she throws a magic axe to help them through these woods.
Yeah.
This is a weird sequence. And then they fight off the elephants through the use of the magic box, which was full of mice.
Because elephants are scared of mice, of course.
Yeah, so these magic mice chase off all of these suspicious-looking elephants.
Oh boy, let me tell you about them elephants.
Them elephants look like they're straight out of a Disney movie.
Like in every conceivable way.
Their design, their movement.
They don't look like the rest of the
cast.
Yeah, like the art direction's really obviously Disney because like Disney actually studied elephants. Mm-hmm. I'm like,
They even do the thing
they do
from
the elephant
Jungle Book
march,
where they do the elephant march, and then they also crash into each other.
With, like, the same kind of timing, and shaky cam, and close-up on the crash.
Like, oh, boy.
Like, whoa. You guys are treading some copyright water there.
Well, either way, they chase Mombi out of the Emerald City by fact that she runs away from mice too, and then she turns herself into a flower, but then gets trampled to death by her own elephants. Mm-hmm. And then...
Why would you ever turn yourself into a flower?
I don't know.
Because you're stupid, I guess.
So she dies, and all of Mombi's magic goes away, which means Pumpkinhead dies.
Because he was enchanted by her.
For a little bit, then he gets better for reason.
They cry on him, that's why.
Not on him, just near him. And then he wakes back up and it's all fine. And then there's like this long drawn out award ceremony where everyone gets whatever the hell it is that they wanted again. And then Dorothy goes home by use of another tornado. The end. I want to sum this movie up with 5 notes.
Okay.
This is a bad story. This is bad writing. This is bad singing. This is bad animation. And unrelated to the movie itself, this is a bad recording.
Oh, yeah.
The actual copy of this movie that we found is obviously a rip of a VHS, it looks like. Or it looked like it was probably a TV special that was ripped by a VHS that was then ripped onto a DVD that then had terrible stuttering and skipping, and like the movie just goes like, honestly, we missed most of the Tin Man song, but I don't even care. It's just like, I'm not gonna help. Go see the Lions. Oh, I don't want to help either. I'm like, this is okay with me.
Yeah, I'm alright with skipping this part. So yeah, if it turns out the Tin Man song is a real banger, you'll have to let us know, guys.
I kind of doubt it because it's so bad.
Yeah, this movie is not great. So, time to go into a little background about this movie. This movie was created by Filmation.
That sounds really familiar.
It should. They were they're going to be a very popular studio here soon.
Okay. I don't know what they did. Just tell me.
He-Man.
Oh, God! Oh, no! Alright, yes. G.I. Joe.
Star Trek, the animated series.
All of these early, low-ass budget television shows. Okay, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Basically, like, the only animation studio to rival Hanna-Barbera at all at this time. But hey, the studio comes into play now. And they've been doing stuff for a few years, mostly TV stuff. This is their first movie. And I went ahead and I purchased a book to do a little bit more research. And this book is from the perspective of the co-founder of Filmation, Lou Schmeimer. I'm sorry, I don't know his name. Schmeimer. But the book is Lou Schmeimer creating the Filmation generation. And, like, it's all written in first person. It's his first-hand experience
doing all of this.
Yeah, of being one of the people in charge of the studio. So I kind of wanted to just
touch on some of that?
I just kind of wanted to read some of this, because I think that his own perspective, even though it's obviously a biased account, gives you the context you need. Now, I've talked a bit on and off about Journey Back to Oz, but since this year was its official premiere, I'll go into a bit more background. To remind you, I'd met Norm Prescott through Irv Kaplan in 1958 or 59, and we started working on the Oz picture with him back in 1962.
Whoa!
Yeah.
10 years.
When we were still at Paramount. He had started the animation in Yugoslavia, but it was too complex for their animators at the time. But he had the recording with this stellar cast, which I think was done in 1960. This movie was recorded in 1960.
And it took him another 10 years to get all the animation finished and promotional stuff and actually get it out the door.
It was the first animated feature that I know of that used a bunch of big names in order to draw attention to this picture. It featured Lisa Minnelli as Dorothy, Mickey Rooney as the Scarecrow, Danny Thomas as the Tin Man, blah blah blah. He names like everybody. We had a bunch of new characters like Pumpkinhead, played by Paul Lyle. Wooden Head is the horse, played by Herschel Bernardi. Mombi the Witch, played by Ethel Merman. And Mombi's Crow, played by Mel Blanc. So it did have a lot of big names in it at the time. Although Danny Thomas was the Tin Man, we couldn't really use his voice. His sessions just weren't very good. We had to get Larry Stoke to imitate him. Danny never knew that he had been replaced. He thought he did a great job.
Oh my god.
We replaced pretty much everything except the song he sang. We also re-recorded the voice of the Scarecrow. It had originally been done by Peter Lawford, but Mickey Rooney came in to redo it. There were actually 2 soundtrack records that were released, and one of them had the Lawford songs on it, plus some of the songs that were changed or cut. Anyhow, if you're following along, you've seen that we ran out of money, but the film was always being worked on when we had money. Little by little, we'd get work done. I think the final budget was somewhere over $2 million.
Oh my god.
When we finally opened, it got good reviews, but even though we'd hired all these guys to rent theaters and do promotions and advertising campaigns, it didn't end up doing as well as it should have. We learned a valuable lesson for films. Don't distribute them yourselves.
No.
Later on, we sold the television rights, and it did pretty well after that. We did one version where Bill Cosby was the live-action host, and one where Milton Berle was the host. We costumed Cosby as the wizard, and he was flying around in a balloon with a parrot that he talked to, and 2 kids playing munchkins named Spring and Twig. We built a basket, and then strings went up, and we built a gondola. Then we built a tiny little balloon that we shot across against a blue sky. We could zoom in and see Cosby standing there, and he'd talk, and we'd cut to what he was talking about, and it worked pretty well. We only contracted for 2 uses with Bill, so later on, when SFM Distribution got the syndication rights, we did intros with Milton Berle. He did it almost as a favor, since somebody else had turned us down. The Cosby version first aired on ABC TV in December 5th, 1976. The SMF Holiday TV network often aired it around either Christmas or Easter, and the years I know about included 1978, 79, 1980, and 83. Also, you gotta remember, Filmation was pretty close to Bill Cosby at the time because they were doing the Cosby...
The Cosby Show.
Not the Cosby Show, but Fat Albert.
The Cosby Show.
Yeah.
I mean, it...
The multiple Cosbys.
Yeah.
Cosby shows at the time.
Fat Albert, starring Bill Cosby, and Bill Cosby, and Bill Cosby, and Bill Cosby as every character.
Uh-huh. Yep. So that's a thing.
Cool.
Cool.
I wouldn't suggest seeing this movie.
Nah. Also earlier on in this book, he mentions how he really did seem to enjoy the performances that he got out of the cast and the songs. And he thought it was going to be like a real proper sequel to Wizard of Oz. He wanted to do, or even planned on and went through with doing these live showings. Mm-hmm. Where it would be people dressed up as the characters and lip syncing the songs.
Huh.
I mean, I'm glad he liked it. I can't have much else to say about it. But yeah, you can even see little pictures right there.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's going to be it for this episode. Unless you have something else.
No, that's it. I mean, I really don't have a whole lot to say about this. I just don't think it's very good. But I am interested to see what else Filmation does, because I'm not terribly familiar with their work. Of course, I know of a lot of the stuff they've done, but I'm not
actually watched any of it.
Yeah, experienced it firsthand, because, you know, it's before our time. But
Well,
that's going to be it.
that's going to be it. So join us back here next time as we take a look at Marco Polo Jr. from Australia.
Oh.
So that'll be interesting.
Yeah. See you guys then.
Brane spells brain. And anyone knows a brain can cause you stress and strain.